See, so on last term we have started the translation of switch case. Almost every language has this construct. Okay, how this construct works, just see, and how we can go for the translation of this construct. We use an expression with switch. This expression is evaluated on certain value. Okay, on the basis of the value, evaluated value, the control of execution will switch to any of the statement lists. These are the statement lists associated with the various cases. Okay, if the evaluated value is V1, well, then it will do the execution of statement list associated with this case. Okay, actually you can consider it as a label, and this, as per the value, the control of execution will switch to that label and do the execution of uh, statement list available on that label. Okay, again, in some cases this statement list is exclusively used for this case. Okay, but in some languages the statement list is followed by break statement. Okay, break, it means after switch doing the execution of S1, statement list S1, it will get out of the scope of this switch case. Control of execution will get out of switch case. So, and suppose one thing more, if evaluated value doesn't match with any of the labeled cases, in that case, it will do the execution of default statement. Here you may have any statement that should be executed in the case of if none of the cases get matched. So we have two possible schemes for translation of this construct. You see one by one. This is one. We evaluate expression E in a temporary. Okay, so we have E code, and E code through this E code we evaluate it in T, a temporary, and then we blindly switch the control of execution to this area. Test. If T is evaluated value T is equal to V1, then the control of execution will switch to L1, where we have the code for S1. Okay, and by go to next, we will get out. This is the flow of, after this we have this flow of the code. This is the flow of the code. Okay, if this T is not equal to V1, it will test next case, and if it get matched, it will switch to this, and it will keep on doing this, and finally see V1, Vn last case, Vn minus 1, it will go to this, and if it will not get the match, you will see the unconditional go to, which will switch to default case, Ln. Okay. So this is one method, means just see, if you have to translate, you can translate this expression E into T, and then you can write go to, you can write S1 code, you can write S2 code, you can write Sn-1 code, means code for these statement list, because you have gone through about the various language construct used for manipulation of information. Okay. So in this way you can uh, do the translation of switch statement. Next, another scheme. Here we will again evaluate in T. Then if T is not equal to V1, we will go to L1. Otherwise, if it is equal to V1, then we will do the execution of this, and by this go to, we will exit out. So if your language permits the facility of break statement, as in the case of C language, you can use break statement, and the role of break statement is to switch the control of execution out of the current scope. So in that case, break statements are always translated into this form. Go to, suppose your control of execution is in S code. So, and S code is anything, control statement. Then if you write break in S code, it will switch to S next. Okay. If you have the break statement. So means break statement, due to break statement, go to S next is get passed in the code. This, and if T is not equal to V1, it will go and T for V2. If it is equal to V2, it will do this. And in this way, you can do the translation, okay, of switch case construct. Now see another, in control construct, there is we have discussed about two ways for translation of control construct. In one case, we are assigning the numerical value for the predicates. For true, it is 1, and for false, it is 0. And in second case, we have just managed the control of execution. So just see, you are managing the control of execution, switching of control of execution. In that case, you just come back here. Here, if go to L1, when you are writing this L1 is not known. So how you can write it? One thing is this may be known, but L1 is not known. Similarly, go to L2, the reference, this L2 is not, because that statement is not generated yet. Means it is forward referencing. So how you can write this L1 and L2 references? For that, you have to backpatch. Means you just leave here space, here is space. When L2 is get generated, then you have to back patch here. If when L1 is generated, you have to go back and patch it. So references, because forward references are not available when we are generating the code for a particular reference at particular reference. So for that, how we do this? So see, we do certain modification in the grammar. You come back to that place. Yes. You just see the modified grammar. Here we have M. Previously we have E2, E or E. Now we are adding M. M is a non-terminal, okay, and it has production epsilon. This is also called marker production. Just see, if you see the translation scheme, we write E in this case, E true, this is E, this is E1, this is E2. E true, E1 true is E true, we are writing, and E1 for E1 false, you have to generate a new label in the case of R. So, and at that level, you have to evaluate E2, and you just see its translation is E1 true is E true, E1 false is E new level, and here you have E2 true is E true, E2 false is E false, and here E code is E1 code. Then you have to patch go to, means you have gen, go to E false, E2 true. This is the case, E2 true. This is the translation scheme we have used. Okay, so this go to E false. This E false label is not known. So for what? For that we will use a marker production, and through this marker production we will record the next state. Next state means next state track the three address statement number. So current number is get recorded, and we can go for patching. Actually, we will have the list of code for E1. We have the list of code for E2, and we have to patch here label. Suppose L1. So with E2. So now we can merge both the list and find the, this is E1 code, this is E2 code. When you merge with this label, and here in E1 code having the part of even go to means E false. Okay, this go to. Okay, so in that case it will become E code for this. So this M is a non-terminal having production. It will not take part in generation of the string, but it will be used for recording the statement number at that very junction, so that you can use that statement number for patching. Go back and patch there. Okay. So see, here we have a marker production, here we have the marker. Since size attribute, E code, you are familiar. We have now two lists, E true list and E false list, just for patching. Okay. In this case, our case, E true list is nothing but E true. Okay. E1 true is E true. But for false list, we have the E2 code. False list is E2 code, and for that you have to patch L1. And the start address of the three address statement of E2 will be the target of the E2 false list, E1 false list. Okay. Same case in this. Now, in this again we have marker production. Here we go for false, but here we go for true. Why? If E1 is true, then need not to check this, because your entire statement will become true. E will become true. So you can directly switch the control of execution to the E true. Okay. But if E1 is false, then you have to go for the list, E2 list. Okay. So you have to switch the control of execution. And when you generate the E2 list, this marker production will record. This marker production will record the three address statement and number and go for the you can do the patching. And in this case, if E1 is true, false, then entire statement will become false, means E false. You can switch the control of execution to E false. But if it is true, then you have to check this second expression, and accordingly in same manner you have to go for. Okay. So see the translation scheme. Okay, here we can make the list for E1 code, E2 code, and so on. Here we can merge list with patching the, and here we have the back patch. Go and patch it. The simplest way of translation, first we generate the references of all the three address statement. Okay. And then we just record the statement number where of those statements, those are target, and we can now write the code. Okay. And we know the target. This three S1 code is start from here. This code is start from here, and in second iteration we just start writing. Okay. This is called back patching, and we can implement it through two pass. Okay. see how back patching is going to be done. This is example. If A is less than B, okay, so here you have to go for, if this condition is satisfied, it means your entire statement will become true. If it is true, so here you have to go for the true of the entire statement. But in this case, if it is not, then you have to go to the false list of this to check the false list. Now, so here your marker production will record the statement number, that is 102. Here 100, 101. So this marker production for R will record M02. Now here C is less than D, again, then AND. So here you have a marker production. So for C is less than D, if it is, first you translate C is less than D. So if it is true, then you have to go to this. So here it will record this. Suppose this is C is less than D is this. Okay. These two. And it will be 14. This will say about 104. Now you can patch it. Now you have two, this is an expression, E reduced to expression. So for this E you have labeled E true and E false. Okay. So now see, if A is less than B, then it is E true. And here E false, go to 102. Then C is less than D, it will go to this M 104. And here E false. Here E true. Here E false. So this will be the code. And accordingly it will patch it. हमें जाना है, आज एक वो है, तो नेक्स्ट क्लास, नेक्स्ट टर्म पर क्लास होगी. ओके.